I discovered my brother-in-law was using my daughter to fill the void his disabled child couldn't, and when I tried to set boundaries, my entire family turned against me like I was the monster. For years, Jim seemed like the perfect uncle to my 5-year-old daughter Poppy, showing up to every ballet recital, every birthday party, every school event with this devoted smile that made everyone think he was just being generous, just being family. But looking back now I can see the signs I missed, the way he'd linger too long after family dinners, the way he'd volunteer for carpools when my husband was out of town, the way he'd suggest weekend visits that had nothing to do with actual family gatherings, just him wanting to be around my healthy, normal, developing child. My sister Sally has a 7-year-old daughter named Daisy who was born with severe neurological disorders. She's nonverbal, can't walk, needs constant care, and I understood completely when Sally started pulling away from us because seeing Poppy's normal development was too painful. But while Sally retreated, Jim moved closer, inserting himself into our lives in ways that felt helpful at first, necessary even, until it started feeling like something else entirely. Last week, when I mentioned we were planning to take Poppy to Disneyland for her birthday, Jim immediately suggested he come along, said he'd pay his own way of course, said he could help with rides and give us breaks, but something in his eagerness, something in the way he tried to convince me when I said no, made my stomach turn, made me realize this wasn't about being helpful. This was about him living vicariously through my child's joy because his own daughter would never experience those moments. When I politely declined, Jim didn't just accept it and move on, he went straight to Sally, who called me within hours, which never happens because we barely talk anymore, and she basically told me that Jim gets depressed about missing out on normal parenting experiences, that being involved in Poppy's life helps his mental health, that I should let him come because it costs me nothing and benefits everyone, and the way she said it, the implication that Jim's connection to my family was somehow keeping their marriage together, made me feel sick. I realized in that moment that they'd been using my daughter as emotional support for Jim's grief about his own child's limitations, that every recital he attended, every ride he gave, every birthday party he chaperoned wasn't about being a good uncle, it was about him getting to experience the normal childhood his daughter would never have, and I was supposed to just smile and be grateful for the help. When I still said no, Sally went to our mother, who now thinks I'm being unreasonable, selfish even, for not wanting to share my daughter's special moments with a man who sees her as a substitute for the experiences he's missing with his own child. And suddenly I'm the villain in this story, the sister who won't help her grieving brother-in-law heal. Now I'm sitting here wondering if I'm crazy for feeling like something's wrong with this whole situation, for wanting to protect my daughter from being someone else's emotional crutch, for wanting her Disney trip to be about our family, not about giving Jim another chance to pretend he's parenting a normal child. But everyone else thinks I'm the monster for setting boundaries. I keep thinking about all those times Jim offered parenting advice, all those weekends he wanted to visit for no reason, all those moments I thought he was just being a devoted uncle, and I'm realizing he was never really seeing Poppy for who she is, he was seeing her as who Daisy could never be, and that breaks my heart for both children, but I won't let my daughter carry that weight.